Come find your yoga mat. Take a comfortable seat. I'm starting today sitting back on the heels. If you'd like to join me like this, or feel free to just sit cross-legged, any way that works for you. Take a moment today as we begin to close the eyes or turn your gaze low. Pay attention to your breath. Place a hand over your belly, a hand over the chest. Try to connect the breath from the bottom hand up to the top hand on every inhale, and from the top hand down to the bottom hand on every exhale. Nice, slow, steady way to start. Connecting with our breath. A really nice way to bring us into the present moment. Be present. Inhale from belly, through ribs, up to the chest. Exhale from chest, through the ribs, back down into the belly. Anytime you need that reminder to be right where you are, bring the hands back in this moment. As you release the hands, change to child's pose. Reach your arms out in front of you. Let your torso fold in between the legs. And nice and active here, right off the bat. Stay on your fingertips, lift the forearms, elbows, upper arm bones. Have a little lift of your head away from the yoga mat. Walk the hands a bit to the right side. Enjoy the longer reach. Stretch down the left side of the body here. And then walk the hands across the center and on over to the second side. And now it's the right side of the body that gets that bigger pull, bigger push. Walk back to your center, come up to all fours. Hands under the shoulders, knees under our hips. Cat and cow. Let the spine just move up and down, back and forth here. Always reminding ourselves at this moment, there's no wrong way to be, to move. Just welcoming in the ability, the movement as it comes today. And then shift to downward facing dog. Take your hands a little longer out in front, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. In down dog, continue some exploration and movement. Pedal out the feet. A little shake of the head. And then take a few still breaths. So find a little more stillness in the outer form as the breath continues to move and change us within. And a big bend in the knees. Walk your hands backwards to your feet. So here at the end of our sticky mat, hold on to the elbows. Keep the knees bent. Ragdoll pose. Sway a little bit from side to side. Be heavy and released in the upper body. And then slowly come all the way up to standing. Roll it up. Move the shoulders up, back, and down a few times. Maybe a little sway side to side, whatever feels nice. Staying here at the back of the mat, lift the arms up to the sky. And then exhale, fold over. And walk it out to downward facing dog. Once here, we'll add a twist. Take the right hand to the outside of the left leg. It can come higher to the thigh or slide down closer to the ankle. And try to twist the upper body kind of through. Then place the right hand back down and give it the same go on the second side. So first it's the balance. Integrity, press down through the right hand, nice and secure through the shoulder, and then you find the twist. Two hands back down to the yoga mat. And change to plank pose. Come forward, top of plank. Shoulders right over the back of the wrist now. Bring the feet closer together. Squeeze in the heels and glutes. Lengthen your tailbone towards the heels. And look just a little ahead of the hands. Keep breathing. Steady here. And lower flat down to the mat. Cobra, peel the chest up. Press down through the hands and feet. Nice deep bend in the elbows still. So just kind of a little bit of a lift. From Cobra, go back to downward facing dog. I like to do that through all fours or down dog first. Through all fours or child's pose first. But eventually shift to down dog. Now look up towards the front end of the yoga mat and take a walk to the front. From forward fold, inhale, half lift. Extend from hips all the way out to the crown of the head. And then exhale, fold over. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center of the chest. Again, inhale and lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Now keep the right foot where it is. Step your left foot back into a long, low lunge. Add the twist, right hand up to the sky. And then lower the right hand to the inside of the foot. Pretty typical opening for me here. Spin the back heel down and do down dog lunge. So we walk the hands out towards the corner, more towards the long edge of the mat. One of the reasons I like to use these poses together towards the beginning of class, so it gets in a little bit of a 360 view of a big opening across the hips. Of course, helping with our mobility. Walk the hands back in to your low lunge and lower the left knee to the ground. Now pull the left heel in towards your seat, quad stretch, so getting the front of the hip there. If we walk the right foot more out to the side, it's going to give some space so that you can reach back and try to hold on to your left foot. We've got that twisted quad stretch. And then release the hold of the back foot. And finally, we come around to our hamstring stretch, or the back of the hip. Straighten the right leg as you kick the hips a little bit back. Okay, nicely done. And then from here, back into your low lunge, step back to plank. As slowly as you can, exhale out the breath and lower down to your yoga mat. Cobra, or even baby cobra, a little lift, a little bit more. Expand through the front of the chest. Okay, go back to downward facing dog. And then look in between the hands, walk, jump, or step to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Exhale, palms together, center of the chest. That ritual kind of coming and going from the sun salutation. Keep bringing us back to the present, back to awareness of breath. Let's do it all on the second side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. And this time the left foot should stay forward. Step your right foot back. Second side. Left hand up to the sky. Spotlight that outer hip to begin with. Try to keep the hips square. Keep pulling left hip back in space, right hip a little bit forward, and you should feel it. Okay, and then left hand to the inside, spin the back heel down, down dog lunge. As you walk the hands towards the front corner, again more towards the long side of the mat. Extend the front knee forward over the second and third toes and still give a lot of weight into the back leg. Walk the hands back in. Pick up the back heel, set the right knee down. Pull in, right heel towards the seat. And that might be all the quad stretch that you need or want right now. If you're looking for a little bit more, hands to the inside, walk the left foot out. And reach the left hand back to hold on to the right foot. Release the back foot for those holding on. Re-square everything to the front and then kick the hips backwards, straighten the left leg for your hamstring stretch. The hands can always come all the way up to the waistline, just giving some more balance in the legs depending on your range. If you're working with yoga blocks, hands under the blocks. Just finding the accessible point for you. Okay, we go back to plank. Again. Steady strength, lower it down. Use the knees at any point. Cobra, a little more lift this time again. Full breath. Squeezing the glutes so you stay strong in the legs for support. Then change again to downward facing dog. Okay, look in between the hands. Make your way forward. Half lift. Forward fold. Stand up, reach the arms to the sky. Palms together, center of your chest. Give yourself a couple of breaths here. If your eyes are closed, open them back up. Find a gaze out in front that won't move or change for you, and take tree pose. Right foot onto the left leg. Feel free to use a helping hand to get a little above the knee onto the thigh. Point the knee out to the side, the toes down to the floor, and then stretch your arms up to the sky. Nice, steady breath. Lower the hands, lower the leg. And then try it on the second side. I saw a funny little yoga meme this week about tree pose. It said, tree pose, it's good for all the times in life when you're called to stand on one leg with your arms over your head. Remembering that it's all simple, and sometimes these poses don't have to be so much more. It's just this moment. Right now, that's what's called for. Release the arms, release the legs. No more calling for tree pose. Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend the knees, sit into your thighs, extend the arms. Look up past the fingertips. Bring the palms together in front of the chest, and then add the twist. Left elbow towards the right knee. If hooking down across the knee makes our back round and the tailbone go more towards the ground rather than out behind you, stay more lifted so that we can keep the length of the spine and tailbone a little bit more out today. And I do want to play with changing this into our lunge. So you're staying right where you are in the upper body, right foot there, and try stepping the left foot back, keeping a twisted lunge. And then the fun part about stepping back, we've got to step forward again. Step the left foot again up beside the right. And then untwist, arms straight. Stand all the way up. Exhale, bend the knees, go back into Utkatasana. It's called fierce pose. And then palms together. And try the twist on the second side. It's right elbow towards the left. Again, try to avoid the rounding of the back and scoop of the tailbone. Try to keep it out, even if you're higher in the twist. And the left foot is forward. Step the right foot back. Look wherever you can keep your gaze. Where can you steady yourself? And then again, step forward, back foot to the front. Untwist, arms straight, stand up. Separate your feet about as wide as the yoga mat. Turn your toes out a little bit, heels in, and squat. So if you go about halfway, butt can stick out, feet flat. And then slowly make your way a little bit lower, but keep the feet flat on the ground. Which means the butt does not have to drop all the way down. And that becomes the way to modify, to adjust, to find the variation that works for you. And then just like before, stepping forward, stepping back, we've got to come back up. Push through your feet. I usually stick my butt out, have that halfway point, and then come all the way back up. One more time for good measure. Reach the arms up. Exhale and squat. Try to pull the chest forward and through. Good. Okay, this time we're adding an open twist. Send the right hand to the inside of the right leg and reach the left arm up to the sky. So your upper arm bone is trying to pin the thigh back a bit more. And then palms come back through the center, lift the torso, and try it on the second side. Set the left arm to the inside of the leg so that the upper arm bone can help to move that left thigh back, and right arm up to the sky. Palms back to the center. With awareness, stand up. Many of us through the pandemic year have done a lot less walking about. Those squats get a little tighter over time. Lift the arms back up towards the sky. So to me, it's just a call to be even slower and more aware as you go in and out of that posture. Exhale, forward fold. Okay, again, keep the right foot forward. Step the left foot back into your low lunge. Bring the hands to the waistline. Lift the torso straight up and down. Arms up to the sky as well. And now an upright twist. Look to your right. Take the right hand behind you, left arm out in front of you. And then come back to your center. Do it one more time, doing most things twice today. Look to the right. And then back to the center. Hinge forward. Lay the belly down onto or close to your thigh. Okay, this should make the same type of shape, but a twisted half moon. If you step, step, step the left foot in, and then just like the arms were in that twist before, left arm is down, right arm up, and try to lift the left leg off of the ground. Twisted half moon. Lower the right hand, come back to your low lunge. Step back to plank. From toes or supportive knees, lower down to the mat. Cobra, get in that good reach and stretch to the front side of the body. And then change to downward facing dog. Look in between the hands and step or jump all the way up to the front. Half lift, forward fold, Stand up. Breathe in, reach the arms overhead. Palms together, center of the chest. Let's take that series onto the second side. Lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. It's left foot forward. Step your right foot back now. Feet still about hip distance apart. Hands to the waist. Lift the torso vertical. And then arms vertical. Okay, upper body changes to the twist. Left arm behind you, reach the right arm out in front of you. Good, and then come back to your neutral, arms overhead. Do it one more time. Twist. I think this is the same shape you're gonna make, just balancing on one leg instead of both. Come back to neutral. Hinge at the hips, reach the hands forward, press back into the right heel for a moment. Okay, and then we can drop the hands down and just kind of walk the right foot in until you have the balance on the left leg. Right fingertips to the ground. Do the tone, turn and twist of the arm first, and then you can lift the right leg last. I keep the left knee bent, the standing leg bent the whole time here, just like in the lunge. Reach the arm up to the sky. Good. That's a tough one. Come back into your low lunge and make your way to plank. Slowly with control, lower down. Hug the elbows right into the side, even as you come through cobra. And then take your time to get to downward facing dog. From down dog today, walk your hands backwards to your feet. Back, back, back. And then hands to the waist. Point the elbows up to the sky. Push down into your feet. Come all the way upright. Good. Once you're standing, we can just face the long edge of our yoga mat. Done a lot of good front to back work. Let's stretch it out to the side now. Take a wide-legged stance. Extend the arms out in either direction. Great, turn the right toes out. Keep the left toes straight ahead. Good old triangle pose. Reach as far as you can to the right. Right hand down to your leg or the floor. Top arm up to the sky. A little more silence, time to breathe here in Trikonasana. Stay with it. Use the top arm to help pull you back upright. Bend the front knee a lot into warrior two. Might be a longer stance now. And I usually take a little bit of a bounce in and out until I find where is warrior two today. Gaze out over the front fingertips. If you're looking down, broaden the knee enough that you should be able to glimpse your big toe. We'll take it to sun warrior today, reverse warrior. Right arm up to the sky, lean back. Then come back to warrior two. Straighten the leg and switch to the second side. Turn the toes. Second direction, hinge towards the left. Keep all of the reach and length in the torso. Lower the left hand down to the shin or the ground. Top arm up to the sky. Remember, present moment. We're meeting ourselves where we are. No need to reach super far on that bottom hand. Leg is there to support you. Come all the way back upright. Bend the front knee for warrior two. A little bit of dynamic movement again until you settle into the static pose. Again, this practicing static stretch is a little bit tricky. Of course, there's always movement, little changes within, whether we see them more fully on the outside or not. So it's that constant thought of evolution, even while you're right here, right now. Reverse warrior, take the right arm up, left arm down your back leg. I often bend the back elbow to take the hand to the upper thigh for more support. Return back to warrior two. Straighten the left leg, turn the toes parallel to one another. Bring it in a little closer as needed. And then take wide-legged forward fold with the hands down. When the hands find the mat, try to walk them in close to the line of the feet for this version. The knees can bend, just try to bend them evenly on both sides. And reach the head down towards the mat. Towards being the key word there, it doesn't need to reach the mat. If your knees are bent, then just slowly working a little straighter. And I'm usually in and out of this pose like I am in warrior two, a little bend, a little straighten, a little bend, a little straighten until I find some comfort in this straightish version. And then walk your hands out so they're underneath the line of the shoulders. I like to stay lifted on fingertips and have a little bend in the knees to make all of this more accessible in low back and hamstrings. Take the right hand out to your side. And it's the same upper body twist that we've been doing in a few different positions today. Try to lift your right hand more up towards the sky here. Tone and turn through the torso. Straight up towards the sky. And then lower the right hand back down. Second side, extend the left arm straight out to the side. And it's not the arm that's lifting. The arm only goes to shoulder height. And then it's the torso and the body that needs to move. And surely the hips are going to adjust a little bit. But our work is to keep them pretty square to one another. And lower the hand back down. Take both hands to the hips, press down through your feet, come on upright and heel toe your feet together. Give it a little bit of shake, anything that feels nice here. Let's make our way back to the top edge of our mat. A last standing greeting, if you will, for this time of practice. Reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Stay here an extra couple of breaths in Uttanasana. You're standing forward fold. As ever, keeping hands down and making the legs to or towards straight. Okay, and then we'll change to downward facing dog. And pigeon pose, bring the right knee behind the right wrist, heel towards the left hip. That tuck of the heel in and pointed foot so that you can have a fully closed front knee joint. A little more safety going in here, forward and down to the forearms. That being said, if we're ever forward in this position and it doesn't feel great to your knee, you can tuck the heel even closer to the same side. Or simply lie down onto your back and do the figure 4 stretch in the legs. That will put even less pressure on the front knee. And then hearkening back to that twisted monkey that we did in the beginning, build your torso back upright. Put your weight a little forward and over onto the left hand as you pull the left heel into your seat. Draw the right arm up to the sky like a rainbow all the way back to hold onto your foot. And I'm going to keep pushing the foot actually away from the seat for this position. Release the hold of the back foot if you're there and come back all the way down to the forearms. I'll be quiet and give you a couple more breaths here. Okay, this is kind of my favorite way to ease out of the pose. I stay down on the forearms and just start to inch the back knee more forward to the front heel till your butt's kind of up in the air, and then step the right foot back. Come up to all fours and into downward facing dog. Just gonna be a really slower, gentle way to get out of the pose, especially if you tend to have some creakiness in hips, knees, or ankles. Okay, second side, left knee goes towards the left wrist. Point the foot, tuck the heel in towards the right side, walk the right leg back until you can come down to the forearms. If we're using a yoga block to help in this pose, I like to prop it under the forearms so the whole upper body stays a little bit lifted and propped, but still making us do our own work in the legs. You can continue to stay down or try the quad stretch here. We come upright in the torso, a little more weight forward and over onto the right hand, though still keeping a strong closed knee joint along the front leg, right heel in towards the seat. Maybe even adding the top arm up and around. Push the heel into the hand. Foot into the hand. And then everybody come back down to the forearms, if not already. Settling the weight as much forward as it is back, as much side left as it is side right. Okay, and then again to come out of this pose, if you stay forward and down on the forearms and just start to inch your right knee forward, your butt more up into the sky. And then once the back leg can take the weight, the left leg can come out. Do one more stretch into downward facing dog. And then change to lie down onto your back. Come down onto your back, pull the knees into your chest. That embrace here towards the end that lets us know we've enjoyed the fullness of movement in the practice and we're winding down. So we've seen emphasis in the hips and in the twist of the torso today. We'll do one more twist. Take the hands out to a T shape and just lower the legs over towards the right side. Make it a nice, easy supine twist. Easy in not adding any complicated shapes, adjustments. Let it be. And take the legs over to the second side. When the knees are kind of hiked up more towards the elbows, it will make the twist a little more easeful, give it concentration in the upper back instead of torquing too much in the low back. And then change knees back into the middle. Stretch out to Shavasana. So find a little unwinding, last little movements that will allow the body just for 2 minutes here to find stillness, as much release as possible. Concentration goes back to the breath so that everything else can relax. And then try to release concentration even of the breath. Just be present here, right now. From the state of release, take the time to come back in, breath and body together, a little bit of movement and stretch. Safely come back up to a seated position. Hands back as we had started over belly and chest. Take just a few more concentrated breaths here. Belly, ribs, chest, chest, ribs, belly. And honoring your breath this way, we honor ourselves, each other, this practice. And to take the energy of this practice through into the day, I like to close in the sound of Om. You're welcome to sing along with me, to listen, to tune it out. Breath in. Namaste. Thank you.